and welcome to a brand new episode of Genesis, Wholeness, and Wellness, the podcast. My name is Ginger in real life, and I am one half of your co-host. I am not alone, of course. I am with
Noluthando Matonsela,
and we are
the It Girls. I hope I'm not making noise.
You are. But anyway, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We are at _ Genesis Wholeness Wellness, and I am at Ginger in real life on Instagram, and you are?
And I am Lu _Onsela.
Period. It will be on the screen as per usual. So today is June.
And it's cold.
And it's cold.
And it's so cold, guys. We are currently having a cold front.
It's unbelievable.
Yabanda.
It's unbelievable. We are banda. It's June, which means it's winter from wherever you're watching this from. If you're watching this from overseas, it's papela.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to do like a quick reflection, on how the year has been going and how you've been finding 2024.
Yeah.
So how has that been? We are halfway through the year, and how has that been?
Well, I'm really happy, man. Like, we're shooting, and just yesterday, I graduated. Period. I'm graduate. I am a whole economist, guys. Listen, and manfuna nje indaba zama exchange rate, nama monetary policy, nama fiscal policy. Kuluman nami. But I am so grateful. Like, when I tell you, God is so good, guys. I had the hardest module ever. Yeah. And when I tell you I studied Mara, I knew you said I'm not gonna make it. No. I did not make it. I'm not in the business of making it.
I'm not in the class of.
I'm not.
Like, I didn't make it. One again.
And you know what God said? You know what? Pull through for the girl. I got 50% on the dots, and we're up. And that's why I'm a graduate. So I definitely see how God pulled through for me there, which is making me so happy. Yes. Another thing I'll say is...
before you say the other thing, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you. Yesterday, on the way back. After I dropped my tattoo off, I just cried. I'm so happy. The whole way.
The other thing is like resting. Yes. Like, I'm so used to like studying, running a business, and then working. But I've actually been able to rest. It's very difficult though. Like, I just feel like I have to do something. But I think I've been really trying to be intentional about just resting. Yeah. This half of the year, and then finishing strong as our favorite line. Finishing strong. That's always our thing. Yeah. Let me see what else I have.
Is there anything that you had set out to, accomplish in the year that outside of obviously graduating and stuff? And what do you feel like you're slacking on, maybe? That in the beginning of the year you said, yeah, you're already Nisa. And you're Nisa.
Yeah, I think it's a contradiction to what I just said, but I'm a bit of like a procrastinator. Okay. Like, I wait till the very last minutes to do things. Guys, it's so damn the day before. Yeah. Why the day before? Because I'm crazy. Yeah. So I think procrastination is holding me. I won't say what other goals I have like planned. I really feel like I must just get to them, but I would say definitely procrastination has been holding me a little bit. But
my year, yes, my year is actually going okay. I am not a big planner anyway. I don't like to plan my life. I just go.
Can I just say something after you finish that statement?
I'm done.
Yeah, I actually saw a video. I don't know if I sent it to you. A video about like vision boards and all of that, and how we set out to plan and plan and plan and do all these things, but at the end of the day, we don't even involve God, and we don't even let Him decide what He wants for our lives. So I think it's very important that we also remember that for the next 6 months of the year. Which is
true.
Let God's will prevail. Yeah, involve God and let His will prevail. It's not just about me. I want to do this, I want to do that.
True.
What does God want for your life?
Exactly. I love that point so much. Because many are the plans of a man, but at the end of the day, it's God who says so. So if I'm involved, I just feel like it's a futile exercise.
It is
like even
very
like planning
futile
or whatever, because even if, let's say, you do get to do whatever that you had planned or whatever, and it's now like without God, like you're just doing it off of your own strength, which is always harder.
It is
like,
harder.
It's always harder, and it's always harder to maintain. It's always harder to see through.
Yes.
Like I will be now even that motivation because you're working purely for yourself. Like I remember in one of the episodes you even spoke about how there's a Bible verse somewhere in Colossians that says work as if you're working for the Lord.
Colossians 3:23 and 20.
Period. It'll be on the screen.
On 23 and 2:25, yes.
I'll find it.
Yes.
But so when you involve God, it almost becomes a God project.
Exactly.
Kind of like this podcast. This is hard work.
It is hard work, guys.
This is hard work because this is the team.
This is us.
This is the team. And
no, this is the team, eh?
This is the team.
This is the team. I'm a co-host. This is the team.
This is the team, you know? And we like run this podcast with like full-time jobs and things like that. So even when it does get hard, like I always just like switch it up mentally in my head and I'm just like, it's not for us.
It's not for us. Yes.
It's not about us.
Yes.
So Tina, our job is just to make the content and put it out there.
Yes.
And then God does the rest.
Yes.
You know?
And to add on to that, like this morning, because the last time I was actually starting to feel like, oh, this is a job, you know?
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yes. Every day I feel like that.
Yeah. But like this morning I was just like, God, like even like planning and just, you know, writing out everything I'm going to say. I was just like, God, just speak to me. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? Just to give me that energy so that it doesn't come from me. And also at the end of the day, we don't do things for ourselves. Like we do things for the glory of God. Like at the end of the day, I want God's name to be
exalted.
Exactly,
yeah.
You know?
So, excuse me, if you don't involve God, then it's kind of whack. For me, it's whack.
It's so whack,
maybe
bro.
for Nina, it's okay.
Yeah,
for me, it's whack.
It's so whack.
It's whack for me, so I don't do it. But even now, like I've been literally sitting on like a business idea.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I got the idea and then like like fast, because in my head I'm just like, if exactly like, in my head it's like, if you don't if you think of something and you don't do it now, like if you don't execute,
you are Mrs. Execute.
Yes. If you do not execute within like the first couple of days, you're not going to do it.
You're not.
And I remember I just had the idea and I was like, this is such a good idea. Oh my God. A business plan. Like immediately. A business plan. I started looking for like manufacturers and stuff like that. And then I was literally just talking to like a colleague.
Yeah.
And I was doing like some market research. And I was like, hey, would you buy something like this? Just asking around and stuff like that.
Is it that time when you posted on Instagram?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
But yes, I was just like asking my colleague and stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, I would totally buy this." Wara. Analysis paralysis, and in the middle of that, I just thought it's probably been like maybe 3 weeks now that I've thought about this idea, and all I have is a business plan, and I've spoken to a few people and stuff like that, but I haven't executed because I just feel like I went through all of that niwani.
Yeah.
You know, like I did the business plan. I even have designs, like, and I'm not a designer. I always say this. I'm not a designer. Like, I'm just learning to and stuff like that. So I even designed the whole thing and stuff like that. And I was just like, this is just like, I feel like I didn't inform God. So low key in my heart, I feel like maybe like this is not a God idea, but I know it is, I know it is. And I just know it's just like the enemy trying to play with my mind a little bit. And it's never too late to involve God, like in your project.
Ever.
Even the man, I can literally just say a prayer now.
Like now, like, actually, I'm kidding.
Actually, on that prayer,
let's get to it right now.
So yeah, I just feel like yes, it's never too late to involve God. Ever. And just like lay it all on the floor for him, and then just like ask him to give me direction, which is literally what I need to do. But I haven't done it because I still have that guilt. So that's why I just don't recommend like not involving God from the beginning. Like just involve him and everything will just be okay.
And at the end of the day, his thoughts are higher, his ways are higher. So
exactly. But yeah, just in terms of my year, like I said, I don't plan for my year. I mean, I just note down a couple of things that maybe it would be nice to get this year. Like for example, I wanted to buy a new car this year, and I'm quickly realizing that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen because one, I spent all my money on getting braces. First of all, and then two, I'm still planning on traveling and things like that. So it's sort of like I kind of have to pick, like, is it the traveling or like a new car? And in my head, I'm just like, a new car would be nice, but it's not urgent. So I'm just going to keep saving.
And traveling is like an experience.
Exactly.
As well.
I'll never be 27 in Thailand again.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next 6 months. I did though have a thought, like upcoming the 6 months.
I actually wanted to ask, what are your plans for for the next 6 months?
So for the next 6 months, I just plan on working. Like that's just my thing. I want to focus on executing. Like for example, with this podcast, we haven't been really active on Instagram and stuff like that, and it's not because there's no ideas or I don't know what I want to post.
I actually remember we sat down and then we actually did a day by day,
like a content
plan.
Calendar. Yes. So yeah, that's literally just my thing. Like I didn't really have I did have a plan, and there's content ideas, but I just wasn't shooting. And when I could, it was like on my day off, and I wanted to rest. And then another time I'm thinking, I should definitely shoot this now, but I have to be at work type of thing. So I don't want to blame it all on like work or like anything like that. It's definitely I'm the problem. I'm the problem. Trust me, I'm the problem. So I just want to do things like that, like just do what you need to do, like and no matter how tiring it is, just do what you need to do, So I want to do a lot of content for this. And I think our last episode I spoke about the Letting Go series, which we're good. We're good. I just need to finish editing it, and then it's gonna go live next week. So when you see this, it's already live actually. It's already live when you see this episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
And I hope you enjoy it.
It's obviously on our Instagram and as well as on my Instagram. So you can check it out there. That's me. And obviously I want to execute this new business, and I just want to shoot the best that I can shoot and be like the best shooter for my clients, be the best shooter for this, like be the best podcast host, be the best business person. Like I just want to work. It's one time Ukshayi. From now on, it's Spontam Ukshayi Ispani. But I want to obviously exclusively just keep maybe like some days free for rest or whatever.
Yeah, because that's important.
And I have so many ideas that I think I would love to shoot for Genesis. We'll obviously talk about them off camera and stuff. But yeah, dude, like there's so many things that I want us to shoot and like do this and do that and whatever. I feel like you guys are going to enjoy the content so much. So I just genuinely want to dedicate the next 6 months to like my work. So that's in December, I'm just like, wow, I put in so much work and like it's paying off. I don't think hard work does not pay off. So yeah, I just feel like I'm not hitting my potential, and I want to dedicate the next 6 months to literally that. Just every single day going after my best potential. Like, how can I best execute all of my ideas every single day? That's me. Anyway, let's get into the episode. Today we're talking about daddy issues. Daddy issues. That's what we're talking about today. Yes. First of all, Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Baba Tonsela.
Happy Father's Day, Baba Tonsela. I am your biggest fan. What the hell? Oh my days. Guys, on this podcast, we love Nolu's dad. Like, we love him. Yeah. If he has 2 fans, if he has no fans,
we're dead.
We love him. So happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads. We love you guys so much, and keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing, and give us money.
Please.
Give us money.
We're begging.
Daddy issues.
Do you want to go first?
No, you're going first. Daddy issues.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to actually start off by saying, like, what am I saying?
I don't know.
I really felt compelled to say this, but to everyone who doesn't have a dad, whose dad is absent, whose dad has passed, I just want to remind you that God loves you so much, and He is your heavenly Father in heaven. He is orchestrating everything for your good. He loves you so much, and that's what you must just stand on and sit on and know that God loves you so much.
Period. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's my first point.
Yes.
Just to say, like, guys, uNkulunkulu unithanda and He is your heavenly Father.
I swear, ditto. Like, nobody will love you like God.
Literally.
Nobody will love you like God. Nobody. God has known you the longest.
Yeah. And I'm also just reminded of Psalm 68, verse 5. It says, He is a father to the fatherless, defender of the widows. This is God, whose dwelling is holy. So, Mwangena baba. uNkulunkulu babakho.
Period.
Okay, and then I just also wanted us to define what daddy issues are.
Absolutely.
So that we're not just like talking, but we don't actually know what this actually means. True. So I went on and I Googled what daddy issues are. And I am going to read it to us quickly.
Period. Take it away.
You hate that line now.
I hate it so much. Guys, there was a time I kept saying take it away.
To the point where I even started saying take it away.
And then now I've stopped, but everybody keeps saying take it away.
Because you told us to say it.
Guys, get a grip.
It's a wrap.
Get a grip.
Okay. So daddy issues is defined as a colloquial term used to describe a set of emotions and psychological challenges that individuals, often women, may develop in response to a problem. Hey, can I just say I said develop well? I almost said develop.
Hi.
Anyways. Developed. Anyways, to a problematic or dysfunctional relationship with their father or father figure. These issues can include the following, right? Low self-esteem, difficulty with intimate relationships, fear of abandonment, need for constant validation, difficulty setting boundaries. I think I'm going to add something else. I'll add it on later. Yeah. Attraction to unhealthy partners, fear of... Nina, I'm a bad boy. Jeez. My girl said, hey. Fear of being alone, people pleasing, lack of assertiveness, and emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And to add on, some of the causes are absent or distant father, emotional and unavailable father, abusive, negligent father, and.
Yeah.
So, how has daddy issues impacted you and your relationships in general?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, like daddy issues rules all of my relationships. All of them. Like, Yo, like I don't even know where to start because I'm just like my brain is trying to pick something I can say because it's just like an overflow of information in my brain. But daddy issues impact like all of my relationships. Like they govern my relationships. We literally had this conversation that day of voting.
Last week.
Yeah, that was last week. Jeez. Anyway, we were having this conversation with like our other friends, and we were talking about the fact that how did this conversation even start?
I don't even know. Like we always just get into these little rabbit holes with our friends,
and then we just
like we're just talking. But, and then Karawa had to go home. Oh my gosh, I said his name, but yeah, our friend had to go home, but he ended up staying because Indavas yeah.
But yes, I was literally just I mentioned during that conversation that so much of who I am is like I don't even know what can I say, but like so much of who I am comes from my parents' relationship.
100%.
In fact, I would even argue and say 80% of who I am like comes from like my parents' marriage, right? Or
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yes,
I'm gonna agree with you. Yes,
thank you 100%. Thank you so much.
I back you. Back the boys.
Yeah, so a huge chunk of who I am comes from my parents' relationship and how they related to each other and stuff like that. For example, obviously marriage and children and whatever is one of the things that I desire. And that's because for the most part, when I was born, my parents had a very healthy relationship.
Yes.
Like they were the bomb.com. They were the
it couple.
Exactly. So I like a lot of like good examples of like what a relationship should look like and how to be loving to your partner or whatever literally comes from that, right? That's like my first and most primary example of this is how a man and a woman relate to each other when they are supposedly married, right? And then I would say then after like my parents' divorce and things like that, then really the life lessons kicked in.
Yes.
Then really the life lessons kicked in. And these were life lessons that even though I really, really hate this sort of notion of being strong or whatever, they literally made me who I am.
Yes.
Like when I say my parents' relationship became so toxic that I literally got to see the full spectrum of this is how you relate to a person that you absolutely love and adore. This is how you relate to a person when you guys are having a minor disagreement. This is how you relate to a person when like you guys are physically and literally separating your lives that you have put together for such a long time, you know? Like this is how you relate to a friend in a man. This is how you relate to a romantic partner. This is how you relate to a man. This is how you relate to a dad. This is how you relate to a son. Like all of that stuff literally came from my dad, and that's how I operate in my relationships now.
I also wanted to say that like I don't know how this is gonna come off, but I also wanted to say that just because we have fathers or like I have a father, sometimes it doesn't mean that I also don't have daddy issues.
I think everybody has a daddy issue.
Yes.
Because dads are not machines, they're humans.
They are humans.
And humans will hurt you. They break down their creature sometimes. Like so of course, I genuinely believe everybody has a daddy issue. Yes. Everybody. There's not a single person on this planet, and if there is unamanga, that you can literally just stand on a rock and preach when your dad was the best dad ever. He's never hurt you. He's so perfect. He's just always done what he was supposed to be doing. Like that's. I feel like that's impossible. All dads have flaws. All humans have flaws. You know. So I genuinely believe everybody has a daddy issue.
Yes. Okay, so my next point is basically my daddy issues specifically.
We're in the meat. This is the episode.
It's getting deep.
This is the episode.
Obviously, I grew up in like a very loving. My dad was very supportive. My dad was very present. Till this day, my dad is very present. Actually, yesterday, something, and the car was so far away, ne? And then he goes all the way. When he comes back, I realized that he didn't actually have to go all the way. And then I was like, sorry, I actually didn't need that. And then he was like, nah, it's good. And I was just thinking, if omunyu baba gube uvele wa throw a tantrum. So my dad is always just there. He's always there to help and support. But one thing about my dad. One thing about my dad is that I say this, he is a toxic saver. All right?
I agree. I
my dad wants to save everything. Every penny. He wants to save everything. And I think growing up with a dad like that has also just often led me to struggle with money, or like just let me not say struggle with money, but struggle with money in relationships.
Sure. Wait, before you continue with your point, when you say your dad was a toxic saver, like what is that? Just like unpack that for us.
My dad wants to save everything, like save every penny he has
to the detriment of the family.
Yes, sometimes to the detriment of the family, whether he sees it or not. Yeah. To him, probably not, but to the rest of us, yes.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You can feel it.
Their pockets are dry.
The pockets are running dry.
The fridge is empty. But we are rich. But we have money.
He's actually so crazy. He's so crazy for that.
He's so crazy for that.
Yeah, guys, it's hilarious. But I've also just seen how it's shaped how I relate to money in relationships. I try and avoid it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to do me, and do you financially. I'll do me, you do you.
Yes. So, sorry to cut you again, but one, your dad is a toxic saver. Yeah. Two, he saves so much sometimes to the detriment of the family.
Yes.
And in what ways would he do that to you specifically, that you were just like, you know what? I can never act like this ever again? Because that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
In your relationships, it's difficult for you to address the issue of money and stuff like that because of but what exactly did
you do? Okay.
Yes.
For starters, every time I would have to ask my dad for money, I would dread it. Yeah. Oh my days. Like I would dread it so much because my dad, you'll ask him for money, avelatul. Like, sir, are you gonna say something? I need the money. Yes. I need an answer. Yeah. To the point where maybe sometimes you'd have to walk around with him in the house. Umlandele. And I think I'm also just realizing because of that, that's why I stand on working hard and having my own money, because it was so difficult for me to just ask my dad, who is supposed to be a provider, for money. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So the daddy issue that's now is prevalent because of your dad's behavior is like a hyper independence of some sort.
Yes.
Okay. Got you.
Hyper independent.
Hyper. You're villaging a kuza in that Proverbs 31 episode. And it's a kuza no match. In the beginning of this episode, you just spoke about, oh my gosh, it's so hard to rest. In my mind, I said,
it's so hard to rest.
Take a break.
I am glitching.
We are glitching. You're not okay.
I'm not okay. I need to do something.
No, do nothing. How about that?
I did nothing. Okay, this past few months. So I'm going to do something the next 6 months.
Whatever.
Yeah. So hyper independence, trying to avoid talking about money. Yeah, it's a very difficult situation, and I'm still trying to be intentional about getting through it. Yeah, getting through it. Yeah, and you, what do you?
Hold on, before we get to me, what are you actively doing to curb your hyper independence? Also, too, why do you feel like hyper independence is something that you need to curb? Like, some people are just like, I'm hyper independent and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm happy. When you're just like, I'm trying to work through it. Why?
Dude, I just want to be a girl for once in my life. I just want to be a girl, you know? And I also notice it when I even go on dates, Like, I feel like nyenze something, like engage. Yeah, I have to tell us where to turn, how to turn, when to turn.
Yes, where to go,
what time, what's the plan, what to wear, where are we going, you know?
Yeah, you feel the need to be in control of
yes.
everything. Yeah, gotcha.
Which is, it's problematic because why do I feel like I need to be in control of everything? No.
And two, that's not even what you want to do.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
It's just that, like, I don't even, it's like a default mechanism. Like, that's just how you operate.
Yeah.
But it's not how you want to.
Exactly. I was even telling someone else that right now, I'm giving this away, but I don't date guys who don't plan, like, okay, for instance, they say, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
You're asking me, where do you want to go? Sweetie, I'm not coming. Count me out.
Blocked.
Because blocked. You have blocked those contacts. Because I don't want to show up strong there. I want to I already have to show up strong at work. I have to show up strong in my personal growth and personal development. I don't want to show up strong in my relationship. 100%. I want to just rest.
100%. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Not to say I don't want to do anything, but I just want to be.
Yeah. You just want to be yourself.
Yeah, I just want to be myself. I just want to be a girl for once, you know, and not think about a lot of things. And there's actually some friends who are guys where I feel so rested,
taken care of.
Yeah.
I just literally remembered a conversation I had because of that.
Yes.
So
I know it's possible.
Yes. So literally, like, this happened to me that same week.
Yes.
The day before Sivota. So, the day before Sivota, I needed to go to the gym.
I hope you voted, by the way.
I hope you voted, guys. First of all, let me start the previous week before the week you vote.
Yeah.
The previous week before the week you vote, Garabu bought me a smoothie.
Yes.
Right. Since Nolu has already name dropped, we're gonna continue.
It's not Simon, it's really Karamo.
But yes, so we went on a run and you randomly told me that, hey, Karabo, you have a smoothie from Karabo and stuff like that. And I just felt like, oh, that's so cute. And then the day before Sivoda, I was going to the gym, and I don't walk to the gym anymore because I'm Safun. Put it simply,
Angsafun. And valid.
So I wanted to drive down to the gym. I get to my car and my battery's dead. And I'm just like, fine, I'll walk, because I can't even be bothered to think about this right now. Like, let me just walk to the gym. So I walk to the gym, and I get to the gym and I work out. And after working out, I actually bump into my old trainer.
Yeah.
So we're like chatting a bit and stuff like that. And then in my head, randomly, I'm just like, oh my gosh, he can jump me, you know? So I quickly ask him, hey, actually, do you have a couple of minutes? Can you please just jump my car? And he was like, get into the car. So we got into his car, then we drove to my car.
Yeah.
And then, like, he literally had to be in a session in like 20 minutes max.
Yeah.
We have 20 minutes to figure this out, and my car's on auto, so you can't push it. You can't
kickstart.
Exactly. And the way being banging our corner made it so difficult for him to like drive his car in, and my jumper cables are so short. So it's a mess.
It's cute. It's not cute, sorry.
It's not cute, and we have limited time. We're on a time crunch. And the whole time, like, I was just like so frantic, and he'd be like, hey, can you please just quickly check? So he's trying to move his car as close as possible to my car. And so I'm standing there, I'm directing him, and then he turns to the left too far. And now he almost hits my car. So he has to reverse out and then come back in, and then inch closer and closer. And then it's too close again. So he has to reverse back. Like, the whole thing was a mess. And then just when we think he's close enough to my car, the jumper cables are too short. So we have to figure out another plan. And in my head, I was just like, oh my God. And we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. He literally has to go back to work, you know? And I remember just verbalizing that to him, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. Like, I'm taking up so much of your time. And he was like, nah, dude, it's chilled, whatever, you know? Like, let's just figure this thing out. Let's just figure this thing out. And long story short, we ended up jumping my car. Everything was fine. And we literally high-fived, and he went back to the gym. And I actually had a quick errand to run.
Yeah.
After that, so I literally just got in my car and drove off after that. And when I got to like the shopping center that I was going to, I bought him like a cute little chocolate. And when I gave it to him, he was just like, there was no need, dude, it's chilled, whatever. And I remember just coming home, and I was like, wow, I feel so cared for.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember just even calling my partner, and I was like, dude, this is what happened. Karabo bought me a smoothie out of nowhere.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
And like I was just telling him everything. I was like, Karabo bought me a smoothie out of nowhere, and now this person, he dumped me.
Yeah.
And like he didn't even feel like I was like taking up too much of his time. Like, he was so gracious and stuff. And I remember just verbalizing to him that every single time like a man in my life takes care of me, it literally heals that part of me that's literally is so scarred from like my relationship with my dad. Like it's almost like it's and it's charred, like it's done. But somehow God just finds a way, or finds people to scrape the char off so that it can be like brand new again. That's literally what it felt like. And I was just like, wow, the power of a man.
Yes. And I'm also, as you're talking, I'm also just thinking about this one friend of mine. I won't say his name because wow, why am I saying people's name?
He's famous.
No, it's not Karabo, but it's my other guy friend. And I actually remember vividly him always opening the door for me. And him saying like, I am showing you that men need to open the door for you because you need to be cared for. You need to be loved. Like guys, umuntu walk all the way. I'm not even his girlfriend. It's so cute. And it wasn't like uyangithanda or anything. He just did it to show me that this is how you need to be treated and this is the standard that you need to uphold.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love that so much. But I think just like for me, I don't hold any like resentment towards like my dad or like my daddy issues. I don't feel like, this is just who I am. I need to just change. Like I need to change who I am. Like this is not healthy or whatever. I feel like my level of daddy issues are very much healthy. Yes. And I'm happy that I have them. Yes. Because I just feel like one, they've taught me how to lean on God and not like a man. Like for the longest time in my life, I felt like
I love that so much. I just want to say that I love that so much.
For the longest time in my life, I felt like I had to idolize men. I felt like, you need to act right, or he gonna leave. You need to act right, or whatever. Because of obviously that scar that I had from my dad and I's relationship and stuff. But I'm very much happy that I have them because of that one thing. It's literally something that takes so many people such a long time, and for me it literally took, obviously I'm not discounting the fact that this is one of the biggest trauma points that I have, but it's literally taken, even though it's taken such a drastic life event to happen, it saved me. Like it saved me in not trying to like figure this one thing out myself, or trying to fill this void with like other people or like a boyfriend. I feel like I'm just so fortunate in the fact that I've never had that kind of void. That looking for love, or whatever. I don't have that.
I'm thinking of is it the Fritos ad? Which where one? The person had a hole in their stomach.
It's
and then they eat whatever that thing
chicken
is.
licken.
Is it chicken licken?
Yes.
A hole.
Yes, it's chicken
an actual hole in their stomach.
It's chicken licken.
And then they eat and then
Baba rides.
Baba rides.
Closes. Yes. Yes, it's chicken licken. It's like a really old ad.
Yes.
But yeah, like it's never ever led me down those paths. If anything, it's led me to God, like straight and forward.
100%.
It's led me to God, and I love the fact that you mentioned Psalm 68 because I'm getting there. But Psalm 121 is really, really my favorite. I'm actually going to read it.
Yes.
I wrote it in terms of this little point. Jeez, baby, that's it.
I love that it's working. It needs to work.
Anyway, Psalm 121, I'm going to read the whole thing. It says, my help comes from the Lord. That's the heading of the thing. And then it says, I lift my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper, and the Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep you going out and you coming in from this time forth and forevermore. That is Psalm 121. And that's literally where my daddy issues have led me.
Yeah.
Literally. It's just always constantly reminding myself that, hey man, whether this guy ukona or not, like God is always there.
Yeah.
There's this thing
God
that
is such a provider.
Period. You know?
Yeah.
There's this thing that I always think about, Uti. You know, I literally just saw a reel about this. God is so funny. The whole day is playing out in my head right now. I'm just like, everything was set up for this conversation.
Yeah.
But I saw this reel this morning, and it was about this person who was basically saying that they kind of wish that God didn't give us free will, because the free will isn't we seem disobey.
100%.
Most of the time when, let's say, God tells you to do something or to say something or whatever, you can literally say no. You can. He's not a forceful person. He's not going to force you. You can just say no. But obviously then it's up to you to bear the consequences of whether it's good or bad, And it's literally, that reel is now coming back to my head as I read this Psalm 121, because I'm just thinking now, the people who have dads like you, they have a choice. Let's say your dad was not frugal. Let's say your dad just gave you money. Obviously, I would he just threw money at you. But let's say if this money issue was never an issue to begin with. He was just a provider, he would just give you money, everything was cool. You would then have a choice. I feel like you have a choice. You could literally live out the rest of your life, relying on your dad, or you could live out the rest of your life relying on your dad and God, But I did not have that choice. I only have God to rely on, And that's not a sad thing to me.
No. That is not a sad
good.
thing.
It's good. I love it because in that one thing itself comes out so many other things. So many other things. Oh, among. Yes. Among Hashem. I can just tell when indoda izodlala ngawe. I can just tell. Vele nje ngimbone ngama hips ukuthi Lona, no. Uzodlala ngawe, baby. Uzodlala ngawe, so keep it up. And even in my friendships, a lot of the friendship dynamic that I saw from my dad was just the typical, you never fight with your friends, you never tell them the truth. Instead, nizokhuluma ngaye behind his back or something. But face to face to confront you and be like, I don't think what you're doing is cool. There was never any of that. And my dad had a band of friends. A band, but there was never holding anyone accountable. There was never indaba zokuthi were, I don't know, helping each other in a good way, There was none of that, we're encouraging each other or anything. Njalo senze izinto zomsangano, and as long as it's hleka it's right, And I knew from that dynamic alone, that I can't have something like that in my friendships. Because if I did, I would end up like that. So a lot of the friends that I keep in my life are friends who will literally just call you out and just be like, doesn't do baby, it's not cute. I want us to be able to confront each other on some, what, this actually hurt me. This actually hurt me, or whatever. I remember there was such a big scandal in one of my dad's friendships. One of his friends got married, and my dad was broke at the time. So and this person was married at the time. So it was just the thing of, okay, I'm getting married, ne? And I know like right now, there's no way in hell you can do certain things. But I'm like, to you, as my best friend, I expect you at my wedding, but I'm getting married in Italy, and this is where we're staying, and this is what we're going to eat, this is what we're going to wear, figure it out. Yes, one of us, this is snacks, and he was so hurt by that. But the friendship continued like nothing. Like and he was obviously like less than everybody else in like the wedding party and stuff like that. But if friendship there was no conversation. That was really not cool. Like, why would you do that to me? Yeah, that actually hurt me. And I'm not happy, and this is what I feel like you could have done better. Maybe see when I from the friend would, no, I did that because of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There was none of that. Like, everything was just even at the wedding, like, how?
Because you heard.
How do you do that? You and I literally had a conversation last week about how we just can't be friends with like women who cheat.
Yeah.
So in those friendships, there was so much cheating. Like in favor was just so prevalent. It was whatever. Like, we can all just do it. It's fine. Nobody's saying
guys.
Mind you, all of these niggas are married. All of these niggas have kids. Like, he got in favor one way. I go everything is jubilee. It's cool. It's fine, and I can't have that. I'm so sorry. I can't do that. So it's definitely taught me how to, like, not even taught me, it's fine-tuned my discernment. Like, it doesn't take me long to learn the fabric of a person, and once I know your fabric, I can decide which I'm in or not, or I'm not, and I love that because it saved me from so much trouble. Like, it saved me from so much trouble in life. Sometimes I think to myself, hey, when I was friends with that person, what on earth were we talking about? I don't know what I could possibly talk to this person about right now. Like, there's nothing. One way, or like Siatola one way, or like it's just one of those things where it's like, hey man, we're just not the same.
It's just shallow.
Yeah, we're just not the same anymore. So I just I can't have that. Basically I'll just wrap up my points by, I'm gonna wrap this episode. I'm gonna wrap this episode by just saying that I hate the connotation that daddy issues has. I hate the connotation that this phrase has, because it's always used as like a slur, like, you have daddy issues. Or I see a lot of these podcasts nowadays, these red pill, blue pill men's podcasts. They'll talk about I saw one today, actually. I'll link it down below. I actually won't, because it was so much trash. I'm not going to link it down below.
Why are you linking it?
Why are you linking it? But anyway, this guy was basically like, don't date girls who don't like their fathers, because they're just so problematic. They're so insecure. They saw this, they saw that. And I get how, like you mentioned in your definition of what daddy issues is, I get how that can be a thing. That it can manifest itself in like many you being ways, insecure, you having like low self-esteem, you being distrustful of men and things like that. It can manifest like that, but it doesn't always manifest like that. Like, and I'm the prime example of that. I'm not saying that my daddy issues don't like hinder me or whether he was here or not. Like, the world would be cool, but the world is not cool because people have no dads. People are going crazy because of that. And just like developmentally, you need a dad. You need a dad and a mom for the rest of your life. There's this lady who literally calls herself on Instagram. She's so amazing. You guys have to check her out. She's called Raising Self, and I love that concept because it's just this concept of, when you're a kid, you're like, my mom raised me or whatever. As an adult, you're still growing. It's not like you stop growing. Like, it's not, your growth is not capped. It doesn't
cut.
Yeah, it's not capped. You still need to be raised.
Wow.
You still need to be raised, even though adults like our raising is all in our hands. But you still need your mom, you still need your dad. That's why we even have cultural practices like umuntu maka umtswetsi, you know, like you just had a baby, so the tradition is your mom comes over to stay with you until umntana wisa. You need a mom, you need a dad.
You need them both.
You need them both until the day you are 6 feet under. It's just so unfortunate that it doesn't happen like that in our world, but you need them. Anyway, that's not my point. My point is that it's not to say I'm unaffected by the daddy issues or whatever, 100%. But it's not all negative.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all negative. I'm learning now as I grow to appreciate the fabric that these daddy issues have instilled in me, the fabric of my character because of these things. You know, I'm learning to appreciate the impact on my life rather than just looking at it as this is so painful, it's a trauma point.
Yeah, it's a trauma point, and that's that.
Yeah, like that's all it is. And that'll never be true because that's not all it is. Like, even though it's impacted me negatively, it's also done so much good for me. And I don't think that there are many other avenues that the lessons that I've learned through my relationship with my dad could have given me. And if they were, God, what the hell? If there were other ways, baby, we should have taken the other ways. But God knows what's best, you know? And I mean, I just trust in God's divine plan, and I just feel like everything works out by design. Like, things are the way that they are supposed to be.
Because that's how you're supposed to be.
Because that's just how it's supposed to be. And that's the episode. That is the episode. It's taking us so long. Whew. I'm even out of breath. I'm so happy this is done. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Again, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
We love all the cool dads.
We love you guys so much.
So amazing. But that is that for us, from us. Don't forget to follow us at _Genesis Wholeness Wellness on Instagram. I am at Ginger in Real Life on Instagram. And you are?
Lou_Ansela.
And that's on a period. We're done. We're out.
Done, baby.
Bye, guys.
Bye.